Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another Warframe video where today we are going to be talking about endo farming, but specifically we're going to be looking at it from a solo aspect. So a few people in my stream chat asked me to do this, and I thought, considering, throughout my Warframe Done Efficiently series, some of you have seen me with stupid amounts of endo, it's worth mentioning how I got those. So I'm going to run through some of the ways that I collect my endo if I ever need to collect endo. I should point out here that a lot of the time, I actually don't need to collect endo. I collect it passively along the way, and it's enough to carry me through the game. So do bear that in mind. If you're playing this game and you're looking to farm endo, then you're probably prioritizing the wrong thing maybe. Once you get your mods up to a certain rank, they will do the job just fine, and then you can max them out later on down the line. So don't focus on farming endo too much. And, if you do need that extra bit for whatever reason, I don't know why, then hopefully the missions that I'm going to run through today will just kind of breeze over which kind of tactics you can use and how fast they are and what kind of level you need to be at to do them. So that's what we're going to run through. So in Warframe right now, to farm endo, you've kind of got a few options. So for the normal kind of, normal drops, you can get it from sortie missions. So you can get 4k endo for completing the daily sortie if you're lucky. You can get it from Arch on hunts. You can get 8,000 from an Arch on hunt. Again, that's weekly, so you do these things each week or each day. You are bound to pick up 4k or 8k at some point, so make sure to do those. You can also do a weekly Maru's Bazaar mission where you go around and you pick up an Ayatan sculpture, and that will obviously give you, usually nets you up to about 2,700, I think, the highest rated sculpture you can get from Maru's is. You can also do bounties on Earth, on Venus, on Deimos. Deimos especially is a really good one to farm endo, and we'll get into that in a second. Railjack is also quite a good way to farm endo. If you are into your Railjack, there's definitely ways to do that. And if you're in a squad actually, and you want to do some Voidstorm missions, then Railjack can be extremely lucrative. Then you've also got Vodyanoi, which is the arena mission on Sedna. You can do that on solo, however, I would only really recommend using that in a squad to farm endo, because doing it on solo can be quite inefficient and very slow and sluggish. And in a squad, you can get yourself a Korra, you can get yourself a Necros, a Nidus, whatever, and just, blitz through enemies and get loads and loads and loads of endo drops. And then lastly, you've got Teshin, who gives you 30k endo every 8 weeks or whatever, every rotation. And then finally, you've got Arbitration, which is actually a really good method of getting endo. And if you're in solo, then, you can do it in solo. Usually Speed Nova, defense missions, Infested, all those things culminate in a good Arbitration mission to farm endo. So yeah, I'm going to run through just a few of those, the ones that I particularly like to use and where I got my endo from to begin with. However, I want to just start off by saying that when you're farming endo, there is only one real thing that is going to affect the drop chance of your endo, besides, frame abilities like Korra's Pilfering Strangledome and also Necros's Desecrate, and that is mod drop chance boosters. Now, mod drop chance boosters you can't actually buy in the market. If we just go to the market quickly and search mod drop, see, we can't get them. However, you can get them in the sortie, I believe. Or maybe not actually. 3-day booster. Yeah, I think you can get a mod drop chance booster from the sortie. You can also get a mod drop chance booster from the Arch on hunt as well. So if you want to get yourself a mod drop chance booster, you need to be doing the sorties daily until you get one, and then you can make the most of it. So that's an important thing to note. Endo drops based on mod drop chance. And if we take a look at Steel Path as well, while I'm over here, you'll note that on Steel Path, we get another 100% mod drop chance boost. So, those two things culminate in quite a rapid and fast drop chance boost, which is how people get so much endo farming in a squad on Vodyanoi, because the enemies there are either guaranteed to drop a mod or some endo. And for the most part, I believe that the endo drop on that can be up to 80. It might be 100 even. I can't quite remember. But either way, when you're in a squad and you pull enemies towards you with Nidus on Vodyanoi, you've got Korra, you've got Necros. You get crazy amounts of endo doing this if you are very efficient at doing it. So that's the first thing I want to get out of the way and say is that you want to increase your endo drops just generally. Mod drop chance boosters are the only way to do it. So yeah, that's kind of that. So let's go ahead and jump into the first kind of way that I farmed endo to begin with, and that is Deimos Bounties. So let's hop into that now. Alright guys, so over here at Mother, if we go onto her bounties, you can see the last two here have the first reward of 1000 endo. That has about a 45% drop chance for the first kind of 1 to 3 missions-ish. The first mission has the highest drop chance. The second two have a slightly lower, but it should still be around about the same. So the way you want to do this is complete the first few missions of the bounty, then extract and repeat. If you are looking to solely farm endo, that is the way you should do it. And if you encounter a mission that is perhaps a bit longer, maybe the excavator mission, or you know, a time-dependent mission where you have to protect an area, then you should probably just extract and come back in again, whatever mission you happen to be on at that stage. And if you can do it on Steel Path, I would recommend doing so. You know, you do get extra Mother tokens, and the enemy spawn rate is generally a lot higher, so you're able to do the kill missions quite a bit faster. So we're going to go ahead and just demonstrate that. Let's go ahead and take this bounty right here, and we're going to come in and see what we get. We'll do the first two missions and see if we get any endo drops. Like I said, it's 45%, so we'd be unlucky not to get at least one on the first two. And the aim here is going to be to do this in kind of, you know, 3 minutes. That would be kind of preferable. So Grenadier Squad right here. Quite a quick one to do. So I'm actually going to use my on-call crewmate to assist me with this. So as soon as we get to start killing things, just going to throw him down. He's going to kill a few things. There we go. And yeah, we'll carry this through to the end, guys, and we'll see what we get. Alright, 1 minute 16 seconds in, and the first mission is completed. Let's see what we get. There's our endo drop, so 1000 endo, 1 minute and 20 seconds. And assist the Corpus Researcher. Not the best one to get, but still decent enough that we can carry on. So we'll do this and then we'll extract. Alright, so we're just coming over the 3 minute mark. Like I said, this Researcher one, it isn't the best one to get really. Others would have been preferable, but yeah, we'll still do it in a reasonable time for 2 missions. Should be about there now, I think. There we go. 3 minutes 20. Let's see. Chances are we'll either get 1000 endo or an amber star. There's an amber star. Okay, like I said, it's not guaranteed. 45%. But, you know, 3 minutes, 30 seconds for 1k endo is not too shabby at all. And if you're talking about, you know, endo per hour, then you can get in the region of between 10 and 15,000 just doing that over and over again. And if you get very lucky, perhaps more. Because, you know, you could get 2k every 3 minutes, depending on your mission, which would lead you up to, what, 40k in an hour, which, you know, is pretty good. So that's kind of the first tool that I used, you know, when I was just trying to get some endo in the door to begin with, to level up some of my lower rank mods, I guess. So let's move on now and take a look at some of the other methods. I'm going to actually just switch over to the Plains of Eidolon now, so the Cetus Bounties, and we're going to have a look at the Narmer Bounties that are available there. Alright guys, so we're over at Konzu, and you can see in the end here he has his Narmer Bounties, Rise and Fall. Now I believe this is only available during the day, however I could be wrong. But if we take a look at the possible rewards here, we've got Common, Uncommon and Rare, and you can see that Endo is a drop possibility in all of these. Now the first mission of this bounty, the drop possibility for Endo is the same as it is on Deimos, so the 45% right there. For the rest, it's quite a bit lower actually. It's sort of 17%, 12%, I believe. But it is possible in every single category. So, you know, rare, uncommon, and common. So you can go through the whole bounty and pretty much guarantee yourself a decent amount of endo each time. So let's go ahead and just do one of those. I'm using my Vault speed build. I do have a guide for that. Again, it's going to be down in the description below. I'll probably mention that in the next clip as well, that there's going to be guide videos in the link down below, on the description down below, sorry. So let's get on and do this and see what we end up with at the end of the mission. Alright, so first mission down, there's 600 endo. Most common reward after that stage. Bit of extra loot while you're doing it as well, always good. Alright, second round, 900 endo. Again, that is not a high drop chance really, but we're already up to 1,500. And we're still going. Alright, third mission complete, 5 minutes and 50 seconds. Let's see if the luck streak continues. We've got to clean out some enemies first though. Oh, I hate this bit of the map. There we go. More endo. There we go. Another 600. Not the 900 that we had last time, but still more endo. Alright guys, so mission 4 just coming to the end here. It's worth noting that getting both the Armored Vault Defense mission and the Liberate the Area mission, they're probably the two lengthiest mission types that you can get. So if you do get those, that's kind of a bit unlucky. But there we go, more endo. This is actually a very lucky run for me, so happy days. And what's also worth noting as well is that if you happen to get all of the rewards, the bounties, as you can see there's like extra bits, bonuses, sorry, then your last reward is doubled. You get a chance at 2. Well, not doubled, but you know, you get 2 rewards basically. So the chances of one of those being endo is pretty high. Okie dokie. And let's see what we get now. So another 900 endo there, and we'll get something else as the last reward. Otherwise, those endos would stack up. 2 Narmer Blasts, nice. So if we get out of here, it's about 10 minutes. So in 10 minutes, we managed to get 4,200 endo, which is the same as you could get doing a sortie, a daily sortie mission. So, you know, the possibilities are there to get a very high amount of endo doing the Narmer Bounties. That's particularly high for me, although, you know, it's not as high as possible. I've actually got a double 1,200 endo drop on the last mission, just in that mission alone. So, you know, it can go higher if you're very lucky. I was particularly lucky in that mission, but, you know, still could get more. And I was also able to gather up all of these extra resources from a Tusk Thumper that I thumped. So, yeah, lots to be gained from this, but let's move on now to Railjack. Okay, guys, so for Railjack, there is kind of a joint way of gathering up endo. Now, if you have a squad to do this, it's much better, but you can just join publics if not, or if you want to go solo, you can. It just might take you a bit longer. So let's just take a look and explore how you kind of get endo efficiently from this. So if you are going to farm endo on Railjack, I would attempt to do the Voidstorm missions on Veil Proxima. Veil Proxima being the last Proxima that you're supposed to unlock. However, you can just join any random squad if you're on public, and you can do that, you know, very easily. So the drop chances of Veil Proxima are generally on Voidstorm missions, that is. So I'm talking about opening relics here. You can get Corrupted Hollow Keys, Endo, and then the Sevagoth parts. Anything past that point is kind of a bit, I don't know, rare. They're usually about 2% drop chance for anything else, including Axii relics you can get from that. But the Endo drop chance is 12.5%, and the corrupted holo keys are 37.5%. So you are more likely to get corrupted holo keys. However, if not, you're more than likely to get Endo, which is 1200. You get 1200 Endo for completing a Veil Proxima mission. Now, not only that, but you will get tier 3 items. And by that I mean, wreckage. So you can see here we got VDAR Mark 3 engines, VDAR Mark 3 engines, and you can see these are all worth 225 Endo each. So all Mark 3 scrap wreckage from Railjack, my god, my mind, I'm losing my mind, is worth 225 Endo. And you can actually get a decent amount of these during the mission. And you can see here that's an extra 2,250 Endo right there. I'm not sure how many missions this has culminated over. I haven't actually done a test to see the kind of drop rates on these and how much you can get. Again, I would recommend doing Grineer missions for this, because you won't be killing as many fighters or cruise ships on the Corpus tile sets, which means you won't get as many of these drops usually. So do bear that in mind. If you are going to do Railjack, go ahead and do it on the Grineer Voidstorm missions, as you can gather up Endo by dissolving the scrap wreckage you get, and you have a chance of getting 1200 Endo at the end of the mission from, the Voidstorm completion. So, yeah, something worth noting. I'm not going to go into full detail on Railjack. I do have a video on my channel, and I will leave a link in the description down below to my farming guides, where I have got a Railjack video on my setup and how I like to, do those missions. So go ahead and have a look at that if you are interested. But otherwise, we'll kind of just move on to the next way that I would get Endo. Alright guys, so the final way that I wanted to show you how to farm Endo, or how I liked to farm Endo during my Warframe Done Efficiently series, was on Arbitrations. However, right now, and in the time I have to record this, there hasn't been a decent arbitration rotation that's come up for me to farm Endo. And that is kind of a drawback with arbitration, is that it is not always a good way to farm Endo. You have to wait for the right conditions, and generally speaking, those conditions are a defense mission with Infested, and then you can use a Speed Nova and a Kuva Ogress or a Kuva Brahma or whatever to just annihilate wave after wave after wave. And that is generally how you would do it. So let's just quickly pop down as well to, where are we going? Let's just go Mercury, for example, and head over to the Arbitrations vendor, as there's more ways you can take arbitration forward in terms of gathering Endo. Alright guys, so over at the Arbiters of Hexis, you will find a shop for Vitus Essence, which also drops during the arbitration missions. And in here, you can buy yourself Ayatan Zambuca sculptures. Now, whilst these aren't the best sculptures in the game, they do actually provide a semi-decent amount of Endo. If you can get 50 Vitus Essence together, which if you're not interested in getting any of the other things in here, like Archgun Riven mods, or any of these mods, or, any Grendel beacons or whatever, then you can just pump it into Ayatan Zambuca sculptures for some extra Endo at the end of the day. Like I said, they don't give a lot, but an alternative which you could do, and which actually a lot of people don't really think about, is selling off these mods for platinum. So the galvanized mods sell for a decent amount, especially if you're not going to max them out because you want the Endo. But you can sell them unmaxed for 10 to 20 platinum depending on the time. And if you can get enough gathered up for a legendary core, then you're talking loads of Endo then, if you wanted to funnel some platinum into it. So, there are ways to do it. And yeah, that's kind of just one of them. And I think that's probably the last one that I'm going to cover in this video. Otherwise, it's just going to take me too long. And I do have a very limited time to record this video. But yeah, hopefully that gives you guys a better understanding of how I managed to get my Endo in my Warframe Done Efficiently series. If you have any questions about it, leave it down in the comments below. And for those of you who are wondering, when I had about 190,000 Endo at one point just sitting there, that was all gained through Voidstorm missions. So when I was farming for corrupted holo keys, during that time, I was able to collect absolutely loads of Mark III or Tier 3 weapons and hulls and reactors and so on, which I was then able to transfer into Endo at the end of that kind of farm for the corrupted holokeys, because the corrupted holokeys will allow you to get tenet weapons from Ergo Glast, which you will need eventually if you want to do, like, you know, the full mastery rank max out. So bear that in mind, or if you just want those weapons in general, you'll need to farm holokeys. So yeah, that's something that I just want to point out. But let's quickly hop back to the Orbiter and round out the video. Okay guys, so as I said before, all of the builds and the guides for kind of what you saw there with the bounty missions, for example, I do have videos on those already, as well as Railjack if you are interested in going and have a look at those. I have left links to them down in the description. I put all of them under my farming guides playlist for anyone who wants to go and have a look at those. I also stream live on my Twitch channel on Mondays and Tuesdays if you guys want to catch me, you know, often doing a lot of these missions live and have questions for me, then by all means feel free to drop along and leave a follow if you are looking to know when I am streaming. But yeah, otherwise guys, again, if you have any questions or comments about what you've seen in this video, please leave them down in the comments below, or even if you have any tips of your own that you like to use to farm Endo solo, which again brings me back to the point of I might do a guide video in the future of a group farm. However, I am fully aware that right now on YouTube there are plenty of those, and if you're looking for what specifically to search for, simply go onto YouTube and just type in something like Vodyanoi Endo Farm Arena, Sedna Arena Endo Farm on Warframe, something like that. You will find a video guide on how to fast farm Endo extremely efficiently on Vodyanoi as a squad. But yeah, for solo, hopefully this has given you guys some ideas of how to get it yourself, particularly maybe in the early game for the bounties on Deimos, if you can do that. But yeah, otherwise guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. I'll see you later guys.